Hello. So we are going to talk about CAT 2025 target 99 percentile, quantitative aptitude, and in this session we are going to talk about algebra, sequences, and series, and this is part two. In the part one, we have talked about arithmetic progression. In the part two, we are going to talk about geometric progression. And there are going to be some questions on sequences that are not exactly related to the series. So let's see what is geometric progression and how we are going to solve the questions on geometric progression. Okay. So let's start. So what is geometric progression? So we have already seen what is arithmetic progression in the first session. So in geometric progression, what do we have? So in geometric progression, in AP, what happens? You have a number, then you keep on adding a particular number and you get a series, and that is called AP. In GP, you get a number, for example, 1. Then you keep on multiplying by 2. So 1, 2, 2 square, 2 cube. So if you see that you are multiplying first number by 2, you got the second number, then again you multiplied by 2, you got the third number, then you again multiplied by 2, you got the fourth number, and so on. So in this, what do we say? The first term is A, then the number you are multiplying with is R. Then next number is going to be AR square, then again multiply by R, you are going to get AR cube, and so on. In the first term, there are no R's. In the second term, there is only one R. In the third term, there are two R's. In the fourth term, there are three R's. So in nth term, they are going to be n minus 1. So so an is equal to ar power n minus 1. This is the formula for nth term of a GP. Okay. So basically a GP has n terms. We are talking about a plus ar square and so on up to ar power n minus 1. So basically what is this? This is going to be sum of a GP. And sum of a GP is defined as a r power n minus 1. So basically that minus 1 is not in the power. Minus 1 is here upon r minus 1. So this is the formula. Some people call it as a 1 minus r power n upon 1 minus r. So basically both the formula are same. You take minus common in the numerator and denominator, you get this, or you take minus common in numerator and denominator, you get this. So basically both of them are the same formula. It is sometimes people say when r is greater than 1, you use this formula. When r is less than 1, you use this formula. But eventually it doesn't make a difference. Whichever formula you use, eventually both are same. Okay. So basically there is one more series, that is infinite GP. So what is infinite GP? That is a plus ar square up to infinite terms there are. And so sum is defined as a upon 1 minus r. A upon 1 minus r. The condition that lies here is number of terms should be tending to infinity. Means there are going to be infinite terms and common ratio. Mod of common ratio should be less than 1. It means the value of common ratio must be in fraction. It should be lying between minus 1 and 1. So if common ratio lies between minus 1 and 1 and number of terms are tending to infinity, then the formula for sum that we are going to use is going to be this formula. Okay. Now, if let's say there are two things, we are talking about AP. So let's say there are three terms A, B, C, and three terms are AP. Are in AP. So what is it? What is the relation between the three terms? So it is said that 2B is equal to A plus C. Okay. Now, if I'm talking about GP, so if I say that A, B, C are in GP, what is the relation between the three numbers? That is equal to B square is equal to A into C. So this is the relation between the three numbers when the terms are in GP, and this is the relation between the three numbers when numbers are in AP. So these two things that are important, that everyone must remember, these two things. And apart from this, in GP there is nothing but the formula. There are no special concepts that we have. Now the problem with the GP is, when I have a geometric progression, a lot of times people tend to get confused how I'm going to calculate the common ratio. Sometimes it is visible that it is a GP, but we can't figure out that what is the common ratio. Okay, so this is the first term, this is the second term. So can I say R is equal to AR upon A? Means second term upon the first term is equal to common ratio. Third term upon second term is equal to common ratio. Fourth term upon third term is equal to common ratio, that is equal to R. So in whenever you are confused that how you are going to calculate common ratio, always divide second term by first term. You are going to get the common ratio of the geometric progression. And first term, we already know that first term is the first. Okay, now let's see what kind of questions we have seen in CAT. So let's see, what is this first question? So it says that infinite geometric progression A1, A2, A3 has a property. So it is an infinite series. And what is the value? So let's say the series is, I'm not taking it as A1, A2, A3. I'm taking the series as AR square, and so on. So nth term of this series is going to be this. Okay. And now it says that an means AR power n minus 1. That is equal to 3 times an plus 1. So an plus 1 is what? So n plus 1th term is going to be AR power n plus AR power n plus 1 plus AR power n plus 2, and so on. So this is what that is given to us. So if you see, this is a GP. Okay, so this is a GP, and what is the sum of GP? What is the sum of infinite GP? That is equal to A is what? First term. So what is the first term over here? That is AR power n upon 1 minus R, because common ratio of this series, what we have assumed, the common ratio of this series is equal to R. Now A cancels out. Okay, R power n minus 1 is cancelled out by power. So basically here it is going to be only one power remaining. So I am taking this cross multiplying to this side. So I am going to get 1 minus R is equal to 3R. So from here I can say that 4R is equal to 1. So R comes out to be 1 upon 4. Okay. So whatever question is saying, I have written it and I got the value of R directly. We have done the similar thing in the previous session as well of AP. What we have done, we have simply calculated, just put up all the values and made the equation, got the answer. The same thing we are going to do here. Now A1 plus A2 plus A3. Now this is the sum of infinite series and that is equal to 32. Okay. So first term is A. Common ratio is 1 minus 1 by R. So sum of this series is going to be A upon 1 minus R, and that is equal to 32. So from here, what I can get, A is equal to 32 into 1 minus 1 by 4, and that is equal to 3 by 4. Okay, so this comes out to be 8, 8 3s are 24. Okay, so my first term comes out to be 24. Common ratio is 1 by 4. Now what question is talking about? The question is talking about the value of A5. Okay, so first term is 24. Then I multiply 24 into 1 by 4. So that is AR. That comes out to be 6. So first term is this, second term is this. Now what is the next term? Next term is going to be 6 into 1 by 4. That comes out to be 3 by 2. This is my third term. 3 by 2 into 1 by 4 is 3 by 8. 3 by 8 into 1 by 4 is going to be 3 by 32. So my fifth term comes out to be 3 by 32, and that's going to be my option C. Okay. Now, you might say that why I'm not using the formula that A5 means fifth term is equal to AR power 4. And yes, we can definitely do that. We can say it is 24 into 1 by 4 power 5. sorry, 1 by 4 power 4. Can we do it? Yes. What's wrong with it? We can definitely do it. But I didn't do it because I wanted to go till fifth term itself. So I thought, why not go manually? This is right. This is also right. But generally, when I have to calculate second term, third term, fourth term, what I do generally, I do everything manually. But if I have to go at 10th term, 15th term, then I would have been using the formula. But generally, for third, fourth term, I'm not going to use the formula. I'm going to go manually. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? So it says that let x, y, z be three positive real numbers in geometric progression such that x is smaller than y, smaller than z. So there are three numbers. The first number is x. So I have x, y, z, and these numbers are in GP. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take x, xr, and xr square. I'm assuming that common ratio is r. So I am getting these numbers. Okay. Now 5x, 16y, and 12z are in AP, not GP, right? So if ABC are in AP, the relation between AB and C is given to us as 2B is equal to A plus C, right? We have already seen this. So here 16y, what is the value of B? That is 16y. So 16y into 2 is going to be what? 32y, and that is equal to A is what? 5x, C is what? 12z. Okay. So now I'm just going to put these values over here. Okay. So 32y means 32xr, and that is equal to 5x plus 12 times xr square. Okay, x is common, we can see, so I'm going to cancel out x. So what is my equation? That is 12 r square plus minus 32 r plus 5, and that's equal to 0. Now what is going to be, we are going to have a quadratic equation. Now our job is to solve the quadratic equation, so I'm going to solve it. Minus 30r minus 2r plus 5, and that's equal to 0. Okay, fair enough. Now I'm going to take 6r common, 2r minus 5, then minus 1 common, 2r minus 5, and that's equal to 0. That's what we have. So I have 6r minus 1 into 2r minus 5, and that's equal to 0. So from here I can say that r is equal to either 1 by 6 or 5 by 2. Two values are there. Okay. So 5 by 2 is there in the option, 1 by 6 is also in the option. Now the problem is what is it that I'm going to pick? Now I'm going to go back to the first statement. X, Y, Z are positive numbers such that X is the smallest number. So if I put 1 by 6, so this is going to be X, this is going to be 1 by 6, and in this case, Y is smaller than X. So basically 1 by 6 cannot be my answer. So my answer of this question is going to be 5 by 2. So X is equal to X, Y is equal to 2.5X, and Z equal to 6.25 X. So basically in this case, Z is the largest number, Y is the middle one, and X is the smallest number, and that satisfies this condition. So basically, when you are solving this question, you might get stuck if you are not going to reread the question. So these kind of tricky things that CAT asks, and people sometimes, if people are not reading very carefully, they might get the wrong answer. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? So it says the population of a town is P in the beginning of a year. Then it becomes 3 plus 2P at the beginning of next year. Okay. If the population in the beginning of 2019 is 1,000, then population in 2034 is going to be how much? Okay. So what is going to happen? I'm going to see the options. The options, if you see, options have powers. So it is 1003 into 2 power something minus 3. It is 997 into 2 power something plus 3. It is 997 power 15 minus 3, it is 1003 power 15 plus 6. Now basically this is extremely tricky, that which option I am going to get. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a pattern over here. Okay, so I'm going to write in 2019 what is the population, that is going to be 1000. Okay, in 2000 uh, what in 2020, what is the population, that is 2p plus 3. So initial population is 1000 into 2 is 2000, so it becomes 2003. Okay, in 2021, double of 4006 plus 3, it is going to be 4009. In 2022, it is going to be 8018 plus 2 means 8021. Okay, now what is the problem? The problem is I need to find a pattern. So it is definitely not related to 997, right? It should be related to 1003. So basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write it as 1003 1003 minus 3. Okay, this is 1003 into 2 minus 3. Okay, this is 1003 into 2 square minus 3. I'm just figuring out the pattern. So what is the value I'm going to get? 1003 into 2 power something minus 3. Is it or is it not? So which option is giving me a similar value? That is option A. So basically this is a question of not a series. This is a question of pattern finding. Your job is to figure out couple of terms and make a pattern that looks like an option. So your job is to create a value, create a format that is similar to the option. So which option is matching these values? There is only one option. Other options are definitely not matching. If you want, we can see with it that in the second, if I'm going to take second option, that is 997 plus 3, but in the next year it is going to be 997 into 2. So this is going to be so plus 9. So in the second year it doesn't suit the same pattern. If you see with 1003, it is minus 3 minus 3 minus 3 all the times. So basically what we have done is perfectly right. So here my answer of this question is going to be option 1, not option 2. It is definitely not going in the power of 997. It is definitely not going in the power of 1003. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. What does it say? So it says that mth and nth term of geometric progression are 3 by 4 and 12 respectively, where m is smaller than n. Okay, the common ratio of the progression is an integer, then the smallest possible value of r plus n minus n. Okay, now important point is r is an integer, but it never says it is a positive integer. Okay, so r can be 2, r can be 3, r can be minus 2, r can be minus 3, r can be any number. Now what I am going to take, I am going to take that nth term a r power n minus 1. That is my nth term and that is equal to 12. Okay, mth term a r power m minus 1 is equal to 3 by 4. Okay, so what I can do, I can the question, is question talking about a? No. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to divide, so a cancels out. Okay, so what I'm going to get, r power n minus 1 minus m minus 1, and that is equal to 3 4s are 12. So it is going to be, and 4 goes to numerator, so this becomes 16. Okay, so minus 1 is cancels out, so I am going to get r power n minus m, and that is equal to 16. Okay, now from here I need to figure out this value, and the question is talking about the smallest value. Okay, so what is 16? 16 is 2 power 4. Okay, it is also uh, what? It is also 4 power 2. It can also be minus 2 power 4. It can also be minus 4 power 2. Okay, So it means r can be 2. So I'm going to write all the values r and n minus m. So if r is 2, then n minus m is 4. Summation of all numbers is 6. Okay. R is 4, n minus m is 2. Summation is 6. Okay. R is minus 2, n minus m is 4. Value comes out to be 2. Okay. Minus 4, 2, summation comes out to be minus 2. So what is the smallest value? That is going to be minus 2. So answer of this question is going to be option C. I don't have to worry about any other value. So directly my answer is going to be C. Now this question I'm going to consider a difficult question. It's a tricky as well because everyone reaches till this point. But the problem is thinking this might be a problematic scenario. Generally, people are going to go with 2 power 4 and 4 power 2. So eventually they get the answer as 6. And the problem is the 6 is in the option. So what we can do, we are going to mark 6 and move on. But remember, the smallest possible value, it means there are going to be multiple cases. So one case is going to be this, second is going to be this. And remember, unless the question says positive integer, you shouldn't think in the terms of positive integers. The value can be negative as well. Now let's move on to the next one. What does it says? So it says that if a1, a2, a3 and an is equal to mm, uh, 3 into 2 power n plus 1 minus 2 for every, then a11. What is the value? We have already seen these kind of questions where sum of the series is given and the question asks what is this particular number. Okay. So if I have a1 plus a2 plus a3 up to an. Okay. So let's call it Sn. And I'm going to write it as still a minus n. Okay. Then I have a1 plus a2 plus a3 up to an minus 1. And that is equal to means sum of n minus 1 terms, right? So if I subtract the second value from the first value, so I am going to get Sn minus Sn minus 1, and that is equal to this everything cancels out, right? So what is it remaining? That is equal to En, right? So what is going to happen? So basically when this kind of questions are asked and question talks what is the value of a11, right? So question is talking about the value of a11. So a11 is what? A11 is S11 minus S10. So what I'm going to do, S11 is what? I'm going to plug in 11 over here. So I'm going to do 3 times. That is going to be 2 power 11 plus 1 is 12 minus 2. Okay. S10 is what? 3 times 2 power 11 minus 2. Okay. So what we are going to get 3 into 2 power 11, sorry, 2 power 12 minus 6 minus 3 into 2 power 11 minus, plus 6. So 6 cancels out. Okay. 3 into 2 power 11, I am taking common. I am going to get 2 minus 1 and that is equal to 1 itself. So from here we are going to get 3 into 2 power 10 is 1024. So 2 power 11 is going to be 2048. So this value comes out to be 6144. So answer of this question is going to be 6144 and that's going to be the answer of this question. So this kind of questions have been asked in CAT. Remember this, that this statement is generic, this statement is always true. Nth term is always equal to sum of n terms minus sum of n minus 1 terms. So if you remember this, these kind of questions are going to be simply piece of cake for you. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it say? Okay. So it says that for any natural number n, suppose the sum of first n terms of an AP is this. If the nth term is divisible by 9. So my job is to figure out the nth term, right? So what is the nth term? Nth term, we have just seen what is nth term. That is nth term, sum of n numbers minus n minus 1 numbers, right? Then the smallest possible value of n. Okay. So what is the sum of n numbers? That is going to be 2n square plus n. Okay. Minus. So 2 times n minus 1 whole square minus n minus 1. So this is what we are going to get. Okay. So that is going to be 2n square plus n minus 2 times n square minus 2n plus 1 minus n plus 1. Okay. So nn is cancelled out. Fair enough. I'm going to get 2n square minus 2n square plus 4n minus 2 plus 1. 2n square cancelled out. So basically, I got nth term as 4n minus 1. Okay. Now question says that nth term is divisible by 9. Okay. So, and question is talking about smallest possible value. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to plug in the value of n from smallest to largest, because I'm looking for the smallest value, right? So I'm going to put n equal to 4. So 4 4s are 16 minus 1, that is 15, not divisible by 9. So 4 cannot be the answer. Now I'm going to plug in 7. 7 4s are 28 minus 1, that is equal to 27. Is it divisible by 9? Yes. So my answer of this question is going to be option B, and that's how we are going to approach these kind of questions. So I hope everyone is clear with these kind of questions. We have seen variety of questions in progressions. In the next class, we are going to talk about some more variety of the questions. And with this, we conclude this session. And if anyone has any doubt, you can simply drop a question in the comment box. As soon as I get time, I'm going to respond to you as soon as possible. With this, the session is over. Thank you.